Dorothy here with Done by Dorothy, and I am here today bringing you another Done by Dorothy DIY, and today we're going to be making our basically like our sprays, like Tattered Angels, that type of thing. Yes, no, yes, maybe. But this is going to be using acrylic paint. We've made them with the reinkers before, but and you'll hear, you know, that you actually do have to shake these before you spray. This is a metallic. This is Inca Gold. This was actually made out of folk art metallic paint, the Inca Gold, and this came from like Walmart for like $1. I got my bottles on Amazon, and I think I got 24 of them for like $9. So I mean, I don't have very much in there, you know, your different colors of paint, but a lot of people already have these at home, and you only use a little bit out of it. So I mean, it's not like you're gonna use those. Now if you use the Apple Barrel, you can get them for like 50 cents, and you use like maybe this much of it. So I mean, you have quite a bit of the bottle left to use. So you're going to use that. You're going to use bottled water, you know, your regular bottled purified water, isopropyl alcohol, and then you can either go and buy ball bearings to use as the bead in the bottom. You might be able to use glass beads. I'm not sure I would use plastic beads because they don't have a lot of weight to them, so they're not going to help stir up a lot. I actually use, yes, the Dollar Tree has the little screws you can buy in a box. It's like $1 for a ton of them, and so that's what I bought. And I'm using those, and those work just fine. They roll around just fine. So, let me grab my screws out here so I have them. Okay, so let's get started. I will show you the gold one that I did. I don't know if you guys can see the shimmery gold that did. Of course, gold has that metallic shimmery that, you know, the others aren't, so we'll show you the other ones in a little bit. One thing about it, you see the shimmer, and you think shimmer mist, you know how you get like the glitter off on your hands? There is no glitter. When this dries, it's permanent. So even if it gets wet, it's not going to recolor, like reinkers, watercolors, that kind of thing. Yeah, distress stains, distress sprays, you know, if they get wet again, they will reactivate. These don't. This is permanent. So when it's on there, it's on there. So, okay. So let me set this one to this side. And we'll get started. Let me open one of my bottles. First thing I'm going to do is put my screw in. That's what I would do. I'm using Toasted Marshmallow. It's a really pretty cream color. And I don't even think I've taken the lids off yet. Oh, this one's good to go. Okay, so I'm just going to squirt some paint in there till basically what I do is I do it till it pretty much covers the bottom, just like that much. I mean, you can see there's very little in there. Okay, we have that. Oh, and I'm sorry, we will be using glycerin, USP 99.5 anhydrous. It's pure vegetable based. You can buy this for like $3 at Walmart. I get the 91% isopropyl alcohol. Both these come from the pharmacy section. This comes, you know, with your regular alcohol. You can buy it, the Equate brand, the Walmart brand, for, I think it was like $2.76. This cost me $3.19 at my Walmart, but it's 6 ounces, and you use like 5-6 drops. I mean, oh, well, I'll show you in a little bit. You'll see there's just not that many drops you use, so this will last a really long time. Okay, so I put about that much paint in, and then I'm going to fill water to about 2/3 of, not to all the way up, but about 2/3 of the bottle. That's my bottled water. And hopefully I won't have to pause and go get more bottled water. I brought a couple bottles with me, but, and again, and this, there's not a exact science to this, so don't think if you do a little less, you mess up. If your paint it sprays out and it's too runny, you know, it runs everywhere, then you add more paint. If it's too thick, you add more water. You just play around with it till you get it. Now, let me grab my open bottle of alcohol. One thing I like about these is it all comes with little squirt tops on top, so it makes it a little bit easier. And I'm going to fill this up right to where it starts to curve. I don't want to fill it up all the way because I may have to add more paint in it, so I leave a little space. Then this has a little bit of dropper. I'm going to try to, well, I don't think you'll be able to see this sideways, but 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll just call it 10 and call it good. Oh, I dropped alcohol on my page. It's okay. I can smell alcohol. Then you're just gonna shake. And you can hold it upside down. You can see when it starts separating. You want to make sure that and you can hold it up and see if your paint's mixed up. You just don't want it all goobered in the bottom. I shake mine pretty good, and you'll get like the little air bubbles where it separates, but that's fine. It won't bother anything. Okay. Get my lid off, and I'll just see that's a little runny. So I may, and this one went sort of crazy with the alcohol, so I might open it up, let some of the air out of there. See if that helps some. Sometimes it does, and sometimes you get a faulty sprayer. Just sort of depends. Yeah, see, this is gonna drip. It may just be the sprayer. Or maybe the way I'm holding it, because I'm holding it upright instead of straight out. There you go. See that sprayed right there? I think it was user error. Okay, then let me grab my dry gun real fast and dry this just enough that you can sort of see. And I just hold it up and spray. And again, you can make this thicker or thinner. It's totally up to you and what you decide to do. And you can make it a lot thicker, or, you know, put a lot more paint in it if you want. As long as it's thin enough that you can spray it, then you're good to go. And it will wrinkle your page. I mean, well, okay, I'm using 24-pound copy paper. So if you're using, you know, a thicker base like a watercolor pad, it would probably do a lot better. And I mean, you can still move it around if you want to, which makes it sort of nice because that glycerin gives it a flow. The glycerin helps it be more flowy, which will help it squirt through your nozzle and not compact up so much, that type of thing. Okay, well, it's not completely dry, but it's pretty good. I'll set it to the side, but as you can see, it's hard to see with this one because it's so light. But I'll set it to the side. I'm actually going to pull out a piece of watercolor paper. Sorry. I guess. And I'll spray on that from now on so you can see. Let me put it to the side. So, then I'm going to grab my pen, and I label mine with what they are. So I know if I want that color again. And then I just throw that on the side of my bottle and put it back there. So let's I am I'm so sorry. Let's do this blue. It's called Summer Sky. It's a gorgeous color. And again, I'm just going to squirt some in the bottom. And go ahead and put some water in here. And again, you know, you're probably going to be using thicker paper than just the plain copy paper. And that's like the generic. That's like 20 pound. It's in that order. And I always put mine in the same order. I don't know why. I guess because it works. So. And you can put less. You know, if you want it a lot thicker, you can put less. Yeah, so I figured out if I use everything, I mean, obviously, now if you don't have to use purified bottled water. You can use your regular tap water. You just want to boil it and let it cool. If you have it sort of warm, it's fine. It'll help mix. Okay, so let me pull out my watercolor paper. So I don't know if you guys can see that blue. Hold on, I'll dry it real fast. It's just a pretty shade of blue, like a really nice, well, I mean, you can see it's a real soft sky blue. Again, this is watercolor paper, so it's going to change a little bit because, you know, watercolor paper is going to suck that water in. But I sort of like the effect that it does on the watercolor paper with. So you can actually get like almost like when you do acrylic, like when you're pouring acrylic paint. Now you can leave the if you want to do it cheaply. Now it depends on, you know, you can use water and just the acrylic paint. It will work. I like being able to get that flow out of it. So yeah, you can sort of play with this, and I mean, you can go in and sort of dab up where it's too heavy. I mean, just like you can with like the distress paints if you want to. You can spray it and paint with it with a brush. But see, that sort of creates cells in it on the watercolor paper, which I like the marbling effect that you get from there. I really like that. So let me set it to the side. Let me label this again. Get the air out of my bottle because it's all gooby. And so I just thought, and this is multi-surface indoor. And again, it's permanent, so this is Summer Sky 21973E. So I mean, you can, you know, if you buy, you know, buy your supplies and stock up and, you know, do 4 or 5 a week even, you know, buying your little bottles. And, you know, if you don't want to buy, you know, 24 bottles and you only have so much money to use, you can at Walmart buy these little bottles for like 98 cents in the travel section. So yeah, you can buy them in the travel section and, you know, do it that way if you want to. And, you know, only, you know, maybe do a couple per week if, you know, that's the money that you have. So, I mean, or, you know, do 1 a week. Buy your alcohol 1 week, your glycerin the next week. You've got your water. I mean, that's, and then, you know, these are 50 cents a bottle. So, you know, maybe take $2.50 a week. You know, I mean, heck, that's almost a pop or a candy bar these days. Don't fall over my table. Okay, and then the glycerin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. And again, I mean, you can just use the water, the paint in the water. So, I mean, if you're really low and, you know, maybe you don't need all the other extra, you know, you just want to, and I'll do one with just water. So you can see what the one with just water does. And let me get, here, I'll just use this. This is a tea stain index card. I have to spray my fingers here. And again, you know. I mean, you know, you always get that with paper. So, I mean, that, you know, look at the layers you can get on that, especially with the flow that you get with the glycerin in it. It really does create, you know, that distressed toned color. I'm going to dab this just to speed it up. I don't know if you can see the overspray. Well, you can see the overspray where I oversprayed, but yeah. So there's the pink. If you guys can, hopefully you can see the pink on there. So let me set that to the side and grab my pen and label this. And as you can see, I mean, the more you do it, the faster you get. And you've seen how that curled, but as soon as you, let me grab it. As soon as I dried it, it flattened right back out. So and that was Paradise Pink. So let's move this. I'm gonna move on to my favorite color. I love green. Get a little paint dry there at that thing. I put a little bit more paint in there. With the green, just so it shows up really good. So yeah, you know, I thought I'd bring you along. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you're gonna learn how to count to 10 today. Yeah, I just thought I'd bring you along as I made them. I thought it, yeah, you know, it just adds a lot of dimension to a card or a tag or, you know, whatever you're making, just your page in general. You want to. I'm going to do another card. And what you can do is, you know, if you want to remember what it looks like on tea stain, you know, I wouldn't use like your big, but you can use your small ones. You get like 100 of the small index cards from the Dollar Tree, and that's what I'm going to end up doing. And then I'll spray each of my colors right what the color is. I'll spray and then punch a hole in the corner and put it on a ring clip, and I can flip over and I know what it's going to look like on the tea dyed, because, you know, it doesn't always look the way, I mean, it may appear one way, but not look the same way. But yeah, so I figured between I'll be able to make 24 bottles because I bought 24 bottles for $9, which, okay, so that's $9. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15, and if I do all, and I got 24 bottles, and I do all 24, that's $12. And I do 24 different colors from Walmart at the 50 cents. I'll have $6 and 9, that's 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, plus my screws. I'll have $22 in my sprays. And when I get done, I will have 24 sprays. That's less than $1 a piece. That's pretty good when you're paying, well, I mean, everybody knows the prices you pay for them if you grab them out there. And these are, you know, these are permanent. So you can go in and ink, and you can distress stain and, you know, spray, and you're not going to get those muddied, you know, sort of the muddied colors you get if you put too many on top of there. So, I mean, you can literally go in and spray multiple different colors on top of each other of these. And as they dry, they're just, it's going to cover whatever's underneath. But they're still opaque enough to be able to see between them. Okay. So you see that, and I mean, you get the nice splatters. And these work great through acrylic stencils. Oh my gosh, and they wash up great. So, there's that. And that was Clover Fields. This is what that one's called. So, I wanted to do this as a DIY, but I wanted to sort of bring you along as I make each one too, so sometimes it helps to see. And sometimes you watch a DIY and a person does it one time and then you're like, well, you know, and on here there's not a, you don't really have a set recipe. You can vary, I mean, I would do like 2/3 water to 1/3 alcohol. That's just me. I put the alcohol in to make sure that there's no bacteria that builds or anything like that. The glycerin helps it. That's what they do. Okay, so let's do a pretty purple. On my little spring colors here. I'm going to put a little extra paint in the purple because I love purple. So I want it to be a little bit thicker. And get this out of the way because... And when I spray the purple, I'll do it over top the green. So you can sort of see. Okay, and I started out with a half a bottle of water. I have did all those bottles that I've did and just used up that half a bottle of water. So, you know, you don't go through a lot of, you know, you probably only need to do probably, if you did probably a quart of water, boiled water, you'd be okay if you're boiling your water. I mean, obviously you can boil it, and you can boil it different ways. You can, you know, boil it on the stove, boil it in your kettle, boil it in your microwave, however. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the same thing with the glycerin, you know, it doesn't have to be exact. And when you empty these bottles, you know, wash them out, reuse them. I'm going to use the, well, I don't want to use the green one. I'm going to use the pink one since it's larger. And I'm going to overspray the purple on the pink. And this purple is Princess Purple. And all these are Apple Barrel multi-surface outdoor indoor. Just so, I mean, actually some of these I bought in, like, they have a, just like a general set that's like an essentials. And then they have a, I think like a country one that has some really pretty colors. I have a yellow too. I forgot I have my yellow. I didn't do, pull stuff out to do my yellow. I may do a yellow I was going to do a gray, but I think I'll do a yellow instead. I mean, look at that purple. And I'll show you when I get to the end how I clean mine up at the end, just because it keeps it from clogging so much. So yeah, like when you're doing this, if you get like whatever type of paper you want, and it'll catch the overspray, and the overspray itself will create a, you know, a really pretty thing that you can throw a little bit on it at the end and call it good. Let me dab some of those that are, and I mean, you can do that. I'm just trying to do that to hurry. You could let that dry, and you're going to obviously have darker colors there. Okay. So, as you can see the purple and the pink in there. You know, the purple went right across without a problem, and there's no rub off whatsoever. So, okay. So, I'm going to quit spraying and drying and spraying and drying. I'm just going to finish my colors. Let me get my yellow, because I haven't even opened my yellow. I just bought a new thing of yellow. I can't think and do two things at once. And I mean, you can do these assembly line style. Like this one's yellow. Let's see, what do I want to use this one for? Let me see what other colors I love blue, so I'm going to do 2 other colors of blue. I like colors in general. It doesn't really matter what color they are. Okay, so I can line all 3 up, grab my paints, drop my paint in there, grab my next paint. So, I mean, you know, if you get to where you're doing, you know, a whole bunch of these, it's a lot easier, you know, just to sort of line them up and do them one after another. That's lemon yellow, and it is like so bright yellow. I love it. Okay. And, you know, just work down your... You know, just be careful you don't knock anything over. Which is easy to do. Believe me, I do it all the time. And once you've done it, you almost, like, pour everything right to the same exact level. It's pretty hilarious. And, you know, you do want to stop, like, where if your jar starts rounding, you do want to stop before you get there, because you need room in there to really be able to shake it, or your paint's just going to stay in the bottom and you're never going to get beyond that. So, I mean, you can see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I know I count out loud, and I don't know why. That's probably aggravating to people. But you can see how fast, you know, you can do 8, 9, 10. You can see, you know, how fast you can get those going. I'm going to put the lids on it before I start shaking them, because if I don't, it will be everywhere. And then I'll spray that page so you guys can see each of these. Well, what other color did I just do? That I sprayed the purple, didn't I? Yeah. I gotta label the purple still, so. All these colors are different. When you get to where you have colors that are extremely, extremely close, I always stop and label. And I, you know, try to shake it back and forth for a while. in every direction, spin it in a circle sort of, and then up and down a little bit to mix it through. That yellow is such a pretty yellow. And I'm not a great fan of yellow, but I do like yellow. Just not a huge fan of it. And again, all of these are Apple Barrel, so Apple Barrel Princess Purple. And that is 21978E, if you're wondering about numbers. And then, again, Apple Barrel. And I marked that because, you know, you get different ones, folk art, etc. And sometimes, you know, you can't find the exact same colors in each one. So I find that, you know, not just labeling them purple or yellow, you know, or not label them and you know what color they are, just grab it and go. I mean, unless you just want that randomness. I personally, you know, if I really, really love something, want to go and recreate that color. And this the dark blue is called Mermaid Paradise. Oh no, Mermaid Parade. Sorry. So there was lemon, and well, I'll tell you more when I get them done in a minute. And you'll see 4, 5, let's see. And okay. So let me make sure everything's sort of covered. So let me pull my pad out here. And these colors all turned out really, really pretty. And again, I give them a nice shake, even if they've set for a little bit, just before I spray them. Oh, we did the purple already, didn't we? Let me put a little bit of purple. Let me just put a little bit of every color. This purple is just going to be sort of defective. The lid here just, some of these just act all goofy. And again, you know, when you're buying box sprayers, when I get my Ranger stuff going, I will be carrying the 2-ounce. Oh yeah, see, I love that. See, I could color my whole page in that and be perfectly happy with that. And then the darker blue will go. Oh yeah, that's pretty too. I don't like how that. Yeah, so see the slower you spray, that's pretty. Oh, this yellow is going to be pretty too. Oh yeah, look how bright. I love it. And then, oh yeah, I did all those other ones, didn't I? Let me spray some more, and then we'll dry it and see what it all looks like with all the colors mixed together. And you can, if you double spray, you can mix the colors together. There's some more of the blue up here and down here in the corner. I have to spray some more of the other blue because I think I've sort of washed it away. Okay, and then I'm going to spray the gold, some of the gold over top of it just to give it all sort of goldy look. I'm going to dab some of this yellow because it's sort of taken over here. Okay. I'm going to dab some of this, which is going to create a really cool effect anyway. The yellow sort of taking over everywhere. And I'm just using old baby wipes, sort of dabbing up some that's super, super heavy. Now, if I hadn't have held that card over and sprayed that, that would have looked so cool without that. But I sort of like the square in the background. So definitely can cut this up and use it for tags. Trying to just dab off some of the extra heavy stuff. And again, this is on just regular water, color paper. The metal wire is hot. And these, I mean, I can save and dry and, you know, use them for other projects. I use them as I clean up ink and stuff off my board, then I'll let them dry, and then I can use them to dab paint up or whatever. Yeah, that's dry. So how about that? What do you guys think? Tell me that is not great for some mixed media background. Oops, something's still wet on there. No, it's on the edge. So yeah, that is perfect. You know, go in there, you can overlay a stencil and do one solid color, you know, and then have the other colors show through. If I had my stencil out, I would do that with that blue. I love that blue. And let's see if I can get the, can you get the gold shimmer? Can you see the golden shimmer on there? Hopefully. Yeah, like right in here, you can see it now. So you can see where the gold shimmers over top, but it doesn't really come through. It's almost like the the new mixatives that Tim Holtz just came out with. Except that his actually pigments and breaks off, and mine doesn't. But yeah, I like the his is cooler. I'm not saying that I love Tim Holtz stuff. But it, you know, when you mix it, I can't remember what, and for the life of me, it slipped my mind, and I'm sure I'll think of it as soon as I, after, but yeah, so that, I think, you know, it turned out really good, and considering I get, you know, so I ended up with, Paradise Pink, Summer Sky, this is, the Toasted Marshmallow, this is the Metallic Inca Gold, Cabana Stripe. This one is Mermaid Paradise. This one's Clover Fields. This is Lemon Yellow. And this one is Princess Purple. So it has been 38 minutes. And even with all the testing and drying, we've made all of those. So I like it. So let me scoop my glass tray out of here so maybe you can see in the light background, the color will show through better without all that. Let me try to flip them over where you can see the colors. Well, they're just not going to hold. So it's not going to stay where they need to. That one will. Now, let me see. I think just a piece of paper might be able enough to hold them. Yeah. So, there you go. We have all of those colors. Very easy. And put the... Oh, we didn't do the gray. I'll have to do gray later. I had a couple that I wanted to do that I ended up not doing. That's not gonna hold, so let me put scissors there. No, let me We have the yellow, and we've got the purple. So there we go. So you will definitely see me using these more in the future. I guess I can lay these down where you can. Anyway, so you will definitely see me using these more in the future. So, you know, we've got some with this kit. You know, we've got some, you know, some of the darker blue. The sky blue obviously would go. Definitely the green with all the meadow. There's, you know, the pinky color would go. So yeah, we may even use some in the nature journal that we're working on. So thanks for coming along in this DIY with me. Like I said, we'll do these. I do have some other colors I'm going to be doing, but I'm not going to be doing them with this acrylic. I'm actually going to be using acrylic ink. And that's a different formulation altogether. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day, and we'll see you back for the next DIY. Bye.